Hey there, well we had a very interesting first month of the year with some really interesting numbers for some segments of our market. So make sure you watch this full video so you know exactly what's going on here in our market. I'm Brad Walker, a local Airdrie realtor with Real Broker, and here is your real estate market update for Airdrie for February 2023. And if you could please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, that really does help me out in getting this information out to everyone interested in the Airdrie, Alberta real estate market. Well, first off, let's pull up our overall Airdrie market graphic. You'll see here that we had 84 sales in January to start off 2023. This is our lowest monthly sales number since early 2020, which does make sense because since that time our market has become increasingly more and more busy up to this point. This number really just does bring it back down to what typical January sales should look like. In addition to that, we saw 124 new listings within the month, which left us with 137 active listings to start February with. We started the year with 119 active listings, so that's a reasonable inventory increase to see heading now into February. And all of those numbers translated into a 1.63 months of supply in our market right now, which still puts us within a seller's market, which is under 2 months. The interesting thing with our market lately though has been how drastically different the markets have been in the different price ranges. So even though we're showing a subtle seller's market overall, we've got segments of the market that are at both extreme ends of the spectrum. So let's go into those numbers a bit more and pay attention depending on what segment of the market you're currently involved in, whether that means you're selling or buying, or if you own a home in any of these price ranges. Now first, let's look at the under $250,000 price range. We had 16 sales in this range in January, and we currently have 16 active listings. This gives us exactly 1 month of supply, which is technically a very strong seller's market. But if we look at the average sale price compared to the list prices of those 16 sales, on average they sold for just 97.4% of the list price, which is the lowest of any of the price ranges. Now moving on to the price range of $250,000 to $400,000. In this range, we had 22 sales in January, and currently we have 20 active listings. So this gives us a month's supply of just under a month, 0.9 months, which puts this range technically in the extreme seller's market territory. But even here, we didn't see the crazy amounts of overlist sales. We saw a few of them, sure, but on average, homes in this range sold for 98.9% of their list price. Now looking at the $400,000 to $500,000 price range, we saw 22 sales in January, and we currently have 25 active listings. So we're still in a seller's market here, but not quite as much as the $250,000 to $400,000 range. But interestingly enough, more homes in this range sold for above list price, and we ended up with an average sale price of 99.94% of the list price. So on average, these homes are basically selling right at their list price. Now moving on from here, above that $500,000 range is where the market really starts to slow down. In the $500,000 to $700,000 range, we had 18 sales in January, and we have 56 active listings currently. This works out to a month's supply of 3.11 months, which puts this range in a more balanced market. The homes that sold in January in this range averaged a sale price of 98.1% of their list price. Now in the $700,000 to $1 million range, things slowed down a little bit more, but they are looking better than they were the past few months. 26 current active listings and 6 sales in January gives us a month's supply in this range of 4.33 months. And that month's supply puts this segment of the market into a slight buyer's market. Even with it being a slower portion of the market, it saw an actually higher average sale to list price percentage than most of the other ranges did, with an average sale price of 99.2% of the list price. And now moving on to the over $1 million range here in Airdrie, we don't have any stats to use because we haven't seen a sale in this range in almost 5 months. But we do have 6 active listings right now in Airdrie over $1 million. So in this range, it's definitely a buyer's market right now. All right, so what does this all mean for prices? Well, we're going to break that down to our 4 styles of homes here in Airdrie. For detached homes, currently we've got a benchmark price of $556,000, which is an increase of 1.05% over last month. For those semi-detached homes or those duplexes, we're sitting at a benchmark price of $426,200, which is a 0.8% increase over last month. Now for those townhomes, we have a benchmark price of $310,200, which is actually a decrease of 0.9% as compared to last month. And for our apartments, we have a benchmark price of $250,200, which is an increase over last month of 0.34%. So as you can see, detached and semi-detached are back to leading the way here in 2023 now as far as price increases going, both increasing about 1% in the last month. Apartments didn't really see all that much of a change, and townhouses were definitely the biggest loser in January, down almost a full percent. So what does this all mean for you potential 2023 buyers and sellers? Well, I think if you're planning any sort of move, it's very important right now to take a hard look at your specific portion of the market and make a plan to best suit your needs. You can't look at the overall market right now and expect it to all act in the same way. So for those of you thinking about selling, this means having a conversation with your realtor about the market conditions for your specific home and whether it makes sense to sell right now or not. Because depending on the home, you could be looking at a seller's market or a buyer's market, and that's going to dictate how you approach your sale or if you decide to sell at all. And for you buyers out there, first thing I'd say is that if you're a first-time buyer, absolutely move forward with your purchase. You're better off being in the market than you are on the outside looking in. So if you don't currently own real estate, it's very important to make a plan with your realtor to get you to that goal. And for all you other buyers out there, I know there's plenty of you right now waiting around for prices to drop because of the interest rates, and you've been waiting for a while now, but I just don't think that's going to happen around here in Airdrie. The thing about the interest rate rises is that as they go up, they push even more people to move here from places like BC and Ontario, so it hasn't really had much of an effect on our market here yet, and it probably isn't going to. We're still much more affordable than a lot of places in Canada, and as a province, we offer a lot of opportunity to those moving here. So if you're planning to buy real estate, my advice would be to move forward when you're able to, because continuing to wait, you'll just end up paying more in the future. But with how all over the place our different segments of our market are right now, you should discuss any move with an industry professional who knows the ins and outs of your local market so they can give you the best advice based on your very specific needs. And I'd love to be that advisor, so feel free to reach out anytime and we can make a plan together. Well, that's all I have for you this month. Have a great February, and we'll see you at the market update next month.